watching live electrics. The alarm was meant to induce panic. It was doing its job. Calm down. Think. How long did she have? A minute, perhaps. She checked over her shoulder. Ed was going between the front room and the hall, throwing things out of the front door. "Shut the door!" she yelled at him. "What? Oxygen feeds fire. Didn't everybody know that? Go out the front and shut the door behind you." On hearing a slam, she bent over the oriental chest. In it, household documents were stored in manila folders, their edges torn from regular use. Ed thought her filing system obsessive, but they never had to search for passports. She found them quickly. "Anita! Anita! You need to get out!" Christ, Ed was still inside. Where a minute ago there'd been a doorway, she saw a wall of thick black smoke. "So do you! I'll go out the back. I can't hear you. Where are you?" Important documents stowed in her handbag. She clutched her laptop under one arm. "I said, I'll go out the back." She instinctively covered her nostrils and mouth and skirted the table. Black smoke rolled the length of the ceiling, determined to ambush her. Memory urged, "Crouch low." Moments later, she was standing on the patio, relieved to find herself breathing untainted air, marvelling at the miracle that was the night sky. It would have been a good night for stargazing. Ed pointing and spouting facts about distant constellations, whose names Anita would forget, trying to explain that they were seeing light from stars that no longer existed. How can we see something that doesn't exist? Anita protested against a concept so mind-bending, though she enjoyed Ed's enthusiasm, seeing his eyes light up. But tonight there was no time. "You need to keep moving," she scolded herself. Anita's shoulders jerked violently at the sound of a heavy thud against the French windows. Ed must still be inside. Christ! Thank God the stars had held her attention for a moment. There was an orange glow in the dining room now. She pulled a coat sleeve down over one hand and tugged at the handle. Another thud, and the door flew open. Ed staggered out, one hand reaching, the other clutched to his chest. His face was smudged black. "Why didn't you go out the front?" Anita demanded, angry that he'd been so stupid. "I thought you were trapped." He doubled over, hands on his knees, winded. "Give me a minute to catch my breath." "We don't have a minute." She made him straighten up, trying to offer support. He snatched his burnt hand away and returned it to the safety of his armpit. "Anyway," he rasped, his head angled towards her. "What were you doing, standing there?" "Looking at the light from all the dead stars." "You were listening." "Just because I can't get my head around what you're telling me doesn't mean I'm not listening. Come on," she insisted. They stood in the road, watching as flames billowed from an upstairs window. Even in the darkness, the air shimmered. Lit from below, a swell of dense black smoke obscured the crescent moon. The night was alive with ungodly sounds. Sharp shouts, the rise and fall of screaming sirens, a sickening crackling. To Anita's right, there was a violent explosion of glass. Theirs had been an incredibly narrow escape. Thick, acrid-tasting air turned her throat to charcoal. Her lungs protested. The fire harnessed hypnotic power. With her gaze welded to the spectacle, Anita was only vaguely aware of the neighbours who had drifted out of silent homes. They were knotting belts of dressing gowns, hoisting up waistbands of tracksuit bottoms, looking for the cause of this unwelcome disturbance. Entranced, they grabbed the arms of partners, joined the vigil. Seeing the fire's merciless progress, some went in search of assurance that their loved ones, houses and possessions, "Christ, has anyone seen the cat?" were safe. As liquid flames licked the eaves, lips silently thanked lucky stars.